In the arid, sun-kissed landscapes of Arizona, a tumultuous love story unfolded, culminating in one of the most sensational trials in recent memory. The saga of Travis Alexander and Jodi Arias is a narrative of love, fixation, and a sorrowful conclusion that gripped the nation and resonated with all who were touched by the saga. Travis, a charming and driven salesman, and Jodi, a fervent and resolute photographer, found themselves entwined in a passionate yet tumultuous bond. However, beneath the facade of their affection lay a shadowy undercurrent that ultimately led to a tragic and heinous act. Travis Victor Alexander was born on July 28, 1977, in Riverside, California, to Gary David Alexander and Pamela Elizabeth Morgan Alexander. His upbringing mirrored a tale akin to a modern-day Charles Dickens novel. Raised in tumultuous circumstances, both his parents struggled with drug addiction, often leaving Travis and his 7 younger siblings to fend for themselves as they grappled with their personal battles. At the age of 11, after the passing of their father in a tragic accident, Travis and his siblings found solace and structure when their grandmother took them under her wing. Under his grandmother's care, Travis experienced a newfound sense of stability and security. For the first time, he lived in a nurturing environment where nutritious meals were a daily occurrence, and his days followed a structured routine. Guided by his grandmother's devout Mormon beliefs, Travis embraced the teachings of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, following in her footsteps with unwavering dedication. As he matured, Travis embarked on a path of faith and service, becoming a missionary for his church and eventually an elder in Mesa, Arizona. Inspired by his grandmother's profound faith and the positive influence of the church, Travis held both in high esteem, striving to honor her legacy through his commitment to the Mormon faith. Alongside his spiritual endeavors, Travis pursued a career as a salesman for prepaid legal services, a multi-level marketing company, while also sharing his motivational insights as a speaker. The Mormon Church is renowned for its stringent principles and expectations of its members. To be a part of this religious community, individuals must adhere to strict guidelines, including abstaining from alcohol and caffeine, as well as committing to a vow of chastity until marriage to uphold purity. Travis found it relatively easy to forego alcohol and caffeine, yet he grappled with maintaining his chastity vow, leading to a recurring internal conflict. His struggles with upholding this vow resulted in profound feelings of shame for Travis. Following instances where Travis admitted to breaking his vow of chastity with his girlfriend Deanna before encountering Jodi Arias, he faced repercussions within the church. This led to his temporary exclusion from temple activities as a form of discipline. Despite his challenges in adhering to certain tenets, Travis was a deeply emotional and spiritual individual. His faith played a significant role in his life, evident in moments like when he fervently prayed for a job opportunity, which seemingly materialized when he crossed paths with Chris Hughes, a fellow Mormon who played a pivotal role in Travis's introduction to prepaid legal services. Jodi Arias was born on July 9, 1980 in Salinas, California, to William and Sandra Arias. Her academic journey took her up to the 11th grade at Eureka Union High School before she decided to discontinue her formal education. With a passion for photography, Jodi engaged in various odd jobs until she secured a sales position at prepaid legal services. In September 2006, at the age of 26, Jodi's path intersected with that of 29-year-old Travis Alexander at the Rainforest Cafe in Las Vegas, Nevada, initiating what seemed like the beginning of a fairy tale romance. The narrative unfolded with a handsome young man encountering a beautiful young woman, culminating in an invitation to a black-tie dinner on the very night they met. Adding to the enchantment, Travis's friend, Sky Hughes, graciously provided Jodi with a formal dress for the special occasion. While Travis resided in Mesa, Arizona, Jodi called California her home. She was enamored by Travis's humor and the delightful moments they shared. Similarly, Travis found himself captivated by Jodi's beauty, leading him to express his deepening feelings in an email to a friend. "I went from intrigued by her, to interested in her, to caring about her deeply, to realizing how lucky I would be to have her as part of my life forever. She is amazing. It is not hard to see that whoever scores Jodi, whether it be me or someone else, is going to win the wife lotto." The connection between these two young individuals was nothing short of enchanting, with an apparent intertwining of their spiritual paths. Jodi embraced Mormonism in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the faith to which Travis belonged, and underwent baptism by his hands in a ceremony held in Southern California merely a few months after their initial meeting. Their bond flourished rapidly, marked by alternating visits between them. However, after 5 months, they parted ways, with Travis reportedly grappling with guilt stemming from their sexual relationship in conflict with his Mormon principles, hindering his ability to envision a future with a partner he perceived as engaging in sinful acts alongside him. Despite the separation, they maintained communication, exchanging clandestine and explicit text messages. Jodi later asserted that she terminated the relationship due to her lack of trust in Travis, accusing him of being a sexually deviant individual who subjected her to physical and sexual abuse. Jodi's passion for art and success, and her aspiration to instill the values of achievement in her future children, were evident. Her undeniable physical allure left many in awe of her stunning beauty. However, her persistent presence, unwavering surveillance, and unsettlingly intense fixation on Travis evoked concern among his circle of friends, deeming her behavior as unsettling and alarming. During their time apart, Travis confided in his friends about unsettling incidents involving Jodi. He recounted instances where she slashed his car tires, infiltrated his Facebook account, and intimidated the women in his social circle. On a few occasions, she surreptitiously entered his residence without permission. Descriptions from Travis's friends painted a picture of Jodi exhibiting behavior akin to that of a stalker. She would eavesdrop on his conversations, monitor his text messages and emails, and even forward certain exchanges with other women to herself. Multiple acquaintances of Travis recalled how Jodi displayed tendencies of following him closely, including standing by as he used the bathroom and lingering outside the door. "I started seeing things that were just disturbing. I said, 'Travis, I'm afraid we're going to find you chopped up in her freezer,'" Sky's husband, Chris, mentioned. Chris also stated that he witnessed a moment where Travis caught her eavesdropping on him from behind a closed door with an evil expression on her face. There was a rage in her eyes. "Sky and I are very frightened at this point. She might burn down our house, you know, with all of us in it." Their relationship was extremely toxic, leading Travis to refer to Jodi as a sociopath. Then he told his friends, "Don't be surprised if you find me dead one day." In June 2008, Travis invited Jodi to accompany him on a business trip to Cancun, Mexico. However, just before the trip, he changed his mind and opted to take his female friend Mimi Hall instead. The planned departure date for Cancun was June 10th. A month prior, on May 28th, a burglary occurred at Jodi's grandparents' house, during which a .25 caliber automatic Colt pistol was stolen, along with other items. On June 2nd, Jodi attempted to meet with Travis but was unsuccessful, leading to a phone conversation between them. On the same day, she rented a car from Budget Rent in Redding, California, then proceeded to change her hair color from blonde to brown, attend business meetings, and drive to Utah on June 5th. While in Utah, she visited her ex-boyfriend Ryan Burns at his apartment, where Ryan observed multiple cuts on her hands. Jodi returned the rental car on June 7th, and the clerk who received the vehicle noticed red stains on the seats and missing floor mats. Travis was scheduled for a conference call on June 4th, but unexpectedly missed it. His friend Mimi, who had briefly dated him but felt no romantic connection, was supposed to travel to Cancun, Mexico with him. Growing concerned after not hearing from him for several days, Mimi contacted his friends Melissa and Dallin on June 9th. The two friends went to Travis's locked apartment at 11428 East Queensboro Ave Mesa, Arizona. Upon entering, they found thick pools of blood throughout the apartment. As they approached his bedroom, they saw large pools of blood in the hallway and, horrifyingly, discovered Travis's crumpled, bloodied corpse on the bathroom floor. They immediately dialed 911. When the police arrived, they were confronted with a scene of unprecedented brutality. Travis's body was crumpled, mangled, and mutilated, bearing 27 stab wounds on his back. His throat had been slit from ear to ear, severing his jugular vein, carotid artery, and trachea in a deep gash that nearly decapitated him. Several cuts on his hands suggested he had tried to defend himself, but ultimately succumbed to the relentless stabbing. Travis was discovered with a gunshot wound, and the bathroom was covered in bloody towels. Investigating officers located long brown hairs on the floor, a bloody handprint on his bedroom walls, and a hidden digital camera inside the washing machine. A cardboard box in the bathroom closet had a ring of blood and water around it, indicating an attempt to clean up the crime scene by flooding the bathroom floor before fleeing. The washing machine contained sheets and bedding soaked in bleach post-murder. The official cause of Travis Alexander's death was determined to be homicide. Shortly after the discovery of Travis's body, the Mesa Police Department contacted Jodi Arias. She denied being at his residence, claiming she had not seen him since April. Jodi expressed willingness to assist with the investigation to find Travis's killer, despite stating she had been residing in California with her grandparents for months and had not been in Mesa, Arizona. Detective Esteban Flores, the lead investigator, requested Jodi Arias to visit the police station during her stay in town for Travis's memorial service to provide her fingerprints for elimination purposes. He cleverly explained that due to Jodi's frequent presence at Travis's residence, they needed her prints to eliminate them from those found at the crime scene. Unaware of the incriminating palm print she had left behind, Jodi willingly went to have her innocent fingerprints recorded. A month later, on July 9, 2008, a grand jury in Maricopa County, Arizona indicted Jodi Arias on a charge of first-degree murder in connection with Travis Alexander's death. Following the indictment, she was apprehended at her grandparents' home 6 days later and transported back to Mesa for legal proceedings. Investigators matched the bloody handprint on the wall to her DNA, and 10 days later, they retrieved time-stamped images from the concealed, waterlogged digital camera in the washing machine. These images revealed graphic and disturbing scenes from June 4, 2008, featuring both Travis Alexander and Jodi Arias. During the interrogation with Detective Flores, Jodi Arias exhibited peculiar behavior. While alone in the interview room, she sang songs to herself, performed a handstand, searched through the room's trash can, pretended to sleep, and engaged in various antics that made a spectacle of herself. Despite the mounting evidence against her, including the revealing images on the camera, some of which showed Jodi Arias unclothed, she adamantly maintained her alibi that she had not been in Arizona since April. The final pictures captured by the camera documented the moments leading up to and during Travis's murder, placing Jodi at the scene of the crime. Nevertheless, she refused to alter her version of events. Travis and his girlfriend Jodi Arias were intimate in the evening, with an image showing Travis showering at 5:29 p.m. Later, images depicted Travis with severe throat wounds and Jodi moving his body. Despite Detective Flores informing Jodi about her palm print in Travis's blood at the crime scene, she maintained her innocence. Jodi refuted the accusations, claiming she had not been in Arizona since April and had driven to Utah on the day of Travis's death to visit someone new. Detective Flores, frustrated, informed Jodi of her first-degree murder charges in Travis Alexander's death and mentioned they would reconvene after her night in jail. Jodi requested to apply makeup before her booking photo, but Detective Flores rejected the request. The next day, Jodi altered her account, alleging 2 masked attackers in black invaded Travis's bathroom, stabbing him while one aimed a gun at her, which malfunctioned, allowing her to flee. The trial proceedings for Jodi Arias commenced on January 2, 2013, wherein distressing visuals of the murder scene involving Travis Alexander, his disfigured body, and the incriminating evidence of blood-soaked towels were presented to her. Jodi openly acknowledged her role in Travis's demise, contending that her actions were a response to his escalating violence, a desperate struggle for survival, and the need to safeguard herself. Throughout the trial, she assumed the facade of a battered woman, falsely portraying her sexual encounters with Travis as a result of his coercive demands, while also asserting her profound fear of him. If she did not have to defend herself, she would not be here, her lawyer told the court. In her defense, Jodi alleged that Travis had an addiction to sex and pornography, even to the extent of child porn, citing an instance where she found him pleasuring himself to an image of a minor. Jennifer Wilmot, her defense lawyer, argued that Jodi was Travis's concealed, shameful secret. She contended that despite Travis's attempts to present himself as a virtuous man and devout Mormon, he was in reality a sexual deviant and predator who exploited Jodi's sexual emotions and coerced her into a sexual relationship with him. Prosecutors refuted Jodi's assertion and constructed their argument around jealousy. They claimed that following Travis's retraction of the Cancun invitation, Jodi entered a jealous rage and killed him. Prosecutors further contended that Jodi deliberately armed herself with a gun and knife, traveling to Travis's residence with the premeditated intent to murder him. During cross-examination, prosecutors probed Jodi about how the same gun stolen from her grandparents' home was used to shoot Travis after he had already succumbed to his injuries. Jodi responded, "I don't have a gun. I've never seen it. I don't even know what a .25 looks like." Additionally, the prosecution questioned Jodi on why she continued engaging in intimate relations with Travis, despite being aware of his purported sexually deviant behavior involving child pornography. During a pivotal moment, Jodi Arias faced a series of questions, including her denial of enjoying anal sex with Travis despite past encounters, her sharp memory of intimate details contrasting with alleged memory lapses about stabbing Travis 27 times, and her explanation for purchasing a gun for suicide that was never acted upon. The jury was presented with a sex tape and video evidence showing Jodi Arias persistently denying any responsibility for Travis Alexander's death. "I would never want to hurt him. He never raped me. If I was going to ever try to kill somebody, I would use gloves. I have plenty of them. I did not take his life." On May 8, 2013, a hush fell over the courtroom as Jodi Arias was convicted of the premeditated and first-degree murder of Travis Alexander, prompting gasps and sighs from those in attendance. The prosecution successfully linked her fingerprints to a bloodstain on his bedroom wall, and Jodi Arias struggled to justify her late arrival in Utah to meet Ryan Burns on the day of Travis's murder, June 4, 2008. Despite citing a dead phone and getting lost as reasons for her delay, doubts lingered. By the time of her sentencing that same day, Jodi Arias had become one of the most reviled women in American history, with the jury rejecting her self-defense claims. They found her guilty of murdering Travis Alexander in a cold-blooded and particularly cruel manner that warranted the death penalty. However, as the jury could not reach a unanimous decision on capital punishment, Jodi Arias was instead sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In August 2014, Jodi Arias sought a retrial and was granted the right to represent herself, although she later abandoned this plan in September. The retrial commenced in October 2014, but within just 5 months, the original verdict was upheld. Jodi Arias was sentenced to life in prison for the brutal murder of Travis Alexander. Travis's tragic passing left a profound void in the hearts of his family and friends, who continue to mourn his loss, remembering his vibrant spirit and warmth that was extinguished too soon. Despite the sorrow, the memories of Travis's charisma endure, keeping his essence alive amidst the pain of his absence. Following the tragedy, the community came together to support those closest to Travis, offering solidarity and strength during their darkest hours. The resilience and unity displayed in the face of such adversity highlight the enduring power of compassion and communal support. The tale of Travis Alexander and Jodi Arias stands as a cautionary narrative on the perils of uncontrolled emotions and the significance of recognizing toxic relationships. May their story serve as a poignant reminder to seek assistance when needed, treasure our loved ones, and cultivate healthy, nurturing connections in our own lives. If you found this video compelling, leave a like, and your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to subscribe and check out our other videos.